Hey guys, welcome to Solo ReacTalk. Today I'm going to be reacting to the Templin Institute, Stellaris Invicta, the Greater Terran Union. This is going to be episode 5. If you want to check out my previous reactions, I'll put the playlist right up top here. Just click on it and you'll be able to access them. Okay, let's start.
3, 2, 1.
On October 15, 2402, a network of atmospheric processors and gravitic anchors were activated across the surface of Mars. While planets had been regularly terraformed to adapt their biomes for human colonization, for the first time, life would be created from lifelessness, and a dead planet converted into a world capable of sustaining colonization by the Greater Terran Union. The terraforming of Mars was hailed across the Union as the start of a new era, a time when scientific and cultural achievements would bring about unfathomable changes to human civilization. Union propaganda had long espoused the idea that there was no barrier that could not be overcome, and though these might have been previously dismissed as high-minded rhetoric, it now seemed to be true. While not quite the dominant hyperpower of explored space, the Greater Terran Union was, at the very least, the equal of any other nation. Every month brought with it new discoveries and innovations. On the world of Mictlan, a planet-wide pedal colony established to house a genetic splinter group of humanity known as the Cleris, this idea of Terran superiority was challenged. A new type of weapon, theoretically capable of shattering an entire planet, was tested on one of Mictlan's few oceans. The results were promising, but the detonation awoke a race of colossal creatures that had for millennia hibernated in deep caves beneath the planet's surface. For over a month, the citizens of the Great...
Okay, so they were testing a Colossus weapon on a planet, the penal colony planet, and it awoken giants from beneath the surface. I like how they are connecting these two events, building or researching the technology for the Colossus, as well as inhabiting a planet that has got, giants underground or even on the surface, and they become antagonized and they start attacking you. I remember that event. Yeah, it's interesting.
The Terran Union were horrified as Mictlan's cities were demolished by these titans, which raged against both the local garrison forces and each other. When Land Force Command assembled an army group to take back the planet, however, not even these enormous creatures could endure. Their gigantic carcasses loomed over victorious Union tanks and soldiers, while the largest and most dangerous of these titans were successfully confined to a solitary island, far from any settlement. Even a nationwide cyber attack by Algan separatists, which momentarily disrupted the GTU's communication infrastructure, could not mitigate the feelings of Terran superiority. In 2418, the forces of Fleet Command entered a star system which for over 200 years had been off-limits to everything but automated military reconnaissance craft. Their target was an enormous mechanical construct that had endlessly prowled a graveyard of ruined starships, scavenging amongst the wrecks to find components that would be added to its own patchwork configuration. The battle lasted over 2 weeks as Terran starships ambushed the Leviathan from within the system's debris field, but in the end, its hull was pierced and its internal mechanisms destroyed. The bounty of the system was claimed, and the remains of fallen service members lost during the initial disastrous conflict with the machine were recovered and finally laid to rest. The other great wonders of the Outer Rim met similar fates. Enormous spaceborne aliens, once avoided at all costs by Terran ships, were systematically hunted down and destroyed. Whatever role they played in the galaxy, whether once great forces in the universe or merely accidents of creation, their time was over. There could be no room for such mysteries within the Greater Terran. But one final effort still remained. In London, in an unprecedented assembly of the Union's most powerful leadership, it was unanimously decided that the time had finally arrived. The forces were ready, the interstellar gateway had been repaired, the great counterattack against the Terran could begin. Even as mobilization orders were prepared and warships assigned to their rally coordinates, the plans of the Greater Terran Union were frustrated. The Compact, an alien alliance reduced to a rump state after a series of wars against the GTU, launched a surprise attack across the border territories. Whether they misinterpreted the GTU's military mobilization or hoped to liberate the Union of Nemerium, a Terran puppet state, their forces once more fought a senseless war against the Greater Terran Union. The GTU was forced to delay their plans against the Terran and deal once more with the Compact. But on the far side of the galaxy, in the region of space that for centuries had been ravaged by the Terran, events had begun to play out in a manner the GTU had never anticipated. Alien nations that had suffered as Earth had under ceaseless attacks by the Terran had united under a powerful new federation. Known as the Star Concord, this alliance now represented the most formidable force in the galaxy, dwarfing even the capabilities of the Greater Terran Union. Where once their forces had only sought to repel attacks by the Terran, now they embarked on a campaign of liberation, bringing the fight to Terran worlds and destroying their war fleets and stations. By the time the Greater Terran Union had once again decisively defeated the Compact, acquiring new territories and worlds in the process, the Star Concord had successfully arrived within striking distance of the Terran homeworld. It was at this moment, however, that they stayed their hand. The Terran were like no other species ever before encountered. Hive minds, while not common, were also not unknown, but the consciousness guiding the Terran could not be reasoned with. It seemed to exist only to destroy, incapable of engaging in any sort of dialogue or diplomacy. Its ships and drones would always attack without fear or any sense of self-preservation. How such a species even managed to develop the sophisticated technology it employed was a mystery. Ruins found on their former worlds led to speculation that the Terran had no actual technology of their own, and had, in fact, simply appropriated ships left behind by a race of so-called Old Ones that had either been destroyed by the Terran or disappeared for some unknown reason. Whatever their origin, the Star Concord was at a standstill. Sustained orbital bombardment was the only effective tactic against the Terran, blasting away their cities until every trace of them had been eradicated. Unwilling to commit the genocide of an entire species, the Concord held a series of conferences, debating the military, cultural, and ethical considerations.
Debates and talking and the moral, the ethical issues of wiping out an entire species that almost brought them to the edge of extinction as well. Now we need the GTU more than ever. These people are gonna just drag their feet. What are they called? The Concord. They're gonna drag their feet. Just bring the GTU, let them use their Colossus weapon, and let's finish this once and for all.
A defeat of the Terran would entail. Diplomats of the Greater Terran Union, present merely as observers, remained on the sidelines of these discussions. Eventually, an agreement was reached. The annihilation of an entire species or world, even those inhabited by a race such as the Terran, could not be considered. The Terran would be confined to their current borders by force. They would not be permitted to expand, but their current territory would be respected. This decision outraged the Greater Terran Union, and its embassies within the Concord were closed in protest. On May 1st, 2447, probes deployed by the Concord detected a breach of the Terran exclusion zone. A force of warships were identified in orbit of the Terran homeworld, and reconnaissance craft were sent to confirm these readings. When they arrived, what they found terrified the Concord. The ships detected were not a Terran invasion fleet, but instead a Terran battle group, one that had slipped through the gateway and clandestinely maneuvered through Concord's space. At its center was a weapon of colossal power, of a magnitude never before seen in the galaxy. Built in secret within the Sirius system and christened the Sword of Terra, it was already in the process of charging its primary weapon.
I like that name, the Sword of Terra. I love it. Okay.
Horrified Star Concord representatives demanded the Greater Terran Union recall this weapon and its escorts, and personal appeals were made directly to the High Marshal. No reply was given. Instead, footage of the charging weapon was broadcast on every Terran media outlet, directed both at the citizens of the GTU and the entire galaxy. When the Sword of Terra unleashed its power on the Tyroom's homeworld, the planet's atmosphere was burned away in an instant. Within minutes, its continents had been split apart, and the entire planet was shattered into continent-sized husks that drifted around its dying core. On Earth and its colonies, a few people laughed or cheered. A few people cried. Most were silent. In Stellaris Invicta, the Templin Institute guides the Greater Terran Union into an uncertain future, one you can influence. Every Saturday, we'll live stream our progress on our Twitch channel, and viewers and patrons will have the opportunity to vote on decisions, help name planets, ships, leaders, and more. If you missed the live stream, you can catch up on what happened when the stream is published the next day to the Templin Archives channel. Then, once a month, we'll produce a video like this one, detailing everything that's progressed in the Greater Terran Union's struggle to achieve galactic supremacy. The next live stream of Stellaris Invicta begins 1 hour after this video has gone live. We hope to see you among the stars.
Congratulations, GTU. You have finally completed your revenge. The traditional Stellaris way. Not pacifying a world, not neutron sweeping a world. No. We destroy the world. Make sure that there is nothing left but rubble and, rocks in space. That's it. Yeah. And those people who were not celebrating, who were crying, you guys need to be monitored by the secret police of the GTU, because I can see you're a potential threat. Because every single human being in the GTU should be celebrating defeating humanity's greatest enemy, the enemy that almost brought us to extinction. So if you're not celebrating, you are a threat. Yeah. This was great. These 10 minutes were just a build-up to that final, 2 minutes or even 10 seconds of just seeing the planet being destroyed. And yeah, I was wondering what was going to happen, what was the GTU going to do? Because I know for a fact that they were going to exterminate them. I just didn't expect them to be using a Colossus so soon. So this was very entertaining, and how the other alien races who joined together in a federation tried to preserve the Tyran on their homeworld, and the GTU was like, nah man, screw that, we're gonna go there and we're gonna destroy them. I'm just surprised that they didn't bring a fleet to try and stop the GTU. Maybe they were still in a state of shock, trying to comprehend or understand what the hell is going on. What is that big thing orbiting the planet and busy firing a laser on the planet's crust? What is that? But it's too late now. So yeah, I really did enjoy this. Since we've defeated the Great Khan, right? The Great Khan is defeated and the Tyran are defeated. That means what's left is the final crisis. Oh, who is it going to be? Who is it going to be? I'm wondering right now. Wait, the humans in the GTO are not psychics, right? And I don't think they use AI, like AI technology. So maybe it's going to be the Scourge. Maybe it's going to be the Scourge, yeah. Yeah. Either the Scourge, the Praetorian Scourge, or the contingency, yeah. But I think it's going to be the Scourge. Okay, yeah. All right, guys. That's it for today. Remember, if you like the video, please give me a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Also, click on notification bell if you want to be up to date with my latest videos. And I guess I'll see you next week, Thursday, with part 6 of the GTU. All right.